Hi, Amy, and you bring up a really good question. So, how does one function in this? Well, it comes from people redefining what they think wealth is, and I don't know. I mean, if you've seen my body of work, then you know that I'm suspect as to whether or not people have the ability to do this. And you know also, if you've probably seen some of my other work, that I don't go in for the isms. I know it's all the rage right now. It's all popular to criticize this ism or that ism. And those are usually, in my mind, those are words used, those are kind of made up words for people to argue about so that they can try and feel individualistic or that they're somehow part of some other tribe of people, and not realizing that, no, you're not part of any particular tribe or group. You're just people like everybody else. And you're trying to figure out how this is supposed to work. For lack of knowledge, people perish, okay? People who don't understand what money is or why it even functions, and it's an energy transfer. And my inability to explain this properly is my failure, okay? I've tried. And I've tried a lot. I've gone through, years now of trying to figure a way to explain what's happening and why money functions the way that it does. And it's necessity, right? Because I know that there's a lot of younger people that say, well, why do we even need money? Well, no, you need money because you also have to be able, that's a way you gauge how to help somebody. Right, not by just giving them money. That's not that, because that doesn't always work. You know, for some people it works, but for others it doesn't work. That won't work. That none of that will help them. This is sort of that give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. It's the same basic idea, and the idea is that it's changing a value system. And I don't think that it's possible to change a value system. Maybe it is. I'd like to think that someone out there can make a difference and change the value system, but I don't know if it can be done, right? Especially with algorithmic distortion, especially when you figure that it's becoming more and more difficult to reach people. Even if you're not trying to sell them anything, even if you're not trying to do any of this stuff, you're just trying to actually help. It's becoming harder. So to your question, and I realize this is a circuitous way of me answering this, but it's like this is all because this is all connected. Everything that I talk about, like this stuff's all connected. So in the case of hard assets, right? Hard assets that you acquire, you have to be able to protect them, right? That's really kind of the big issue also. And so, for example, like real estate is getting a little harder to now, because now you've got the people that are controlling the game are bringing in a bunch of illegals, and then they're going to create more squatters. Oh, hi, driveway kitty. They're going to create a bunch of squatters, and then get rid of a bunch of the laws and protections that would protect you being able to own your property, and then go back on the other side and get rid of the other side of it, where you're able to protect your property from them. Right. This is a very simple problem reaction solution kind of protocol, and they do it all the time. They do it in all kinds of countries. Who's they? You know, I get that question all the time. Like, well, okay, that's the people that are the most greedy, that are trying to play this game, and for them, nothing's off the table. I just did a video on this, so it's kind of fresh in my mind. But it's like that's who this is. It isn't a group, by the way, of any one particular, like there's lots of people that fit into this category, you understand? It isn't any one people, okay? I mean, like, I know that I get lumped into that, and there's a bunch of folks that say, like, oh, you just name it's the one people. No, there's a lot of people in this. And there's a lot of people that think like this, because this is a type of thinking. It's a sickness of the mind, you understand? It's a psychosis. Right? It's sort of a mass psychosis, and it stems from a lot of things. And the number one thing that it stems from is the belief in complete infinite when you live on a finite planet, right? That's where all this comes from. So when you say, like, what about can the regular working people buy? Like, well, okay, you can buy gold, silver, Bitcoin, right? And you don't have to buy lots of it. I don't buy lots of it, or, I don't exchange lots of dollars, because, see, in my business, as much as I would love to get rid of dollars, unfortunately, everybody else wants to pay in dollars. And so I don't have much of a choice. I do what I can, but I'm also, remember, I'm competing with in both industries, actually. I'm competing with people who want dollars, right? And because they're flooding the country with people who all they care about is dollars, because that's what they understand. I think I mentioned this, I don't know, a video or two ago, where Americans, a lot of them, they're trying to have an awakening right now. This is politics aside, okay? It doesn't make any difference if you're on the left or the right, doesn't matter. Or if you're a loser-tardian, doesn't matter, okay? There are lots of Americans that are trying to have an awakening. They're trying to wake up and start going, oh my God, what the hell? None of this is real, it's all fake. Even some rich people are starting to, the wealth is kind of losing its luster for them, right? It's happening. And there was an interview with Will Smith where he talked about this, where, like, at a certain point, money stops mattering, and then now what? Now you're kind of trapped at the top, right? I'm sympathetic to that, and he's right about this. Whatever else the man may be, he's right about that. Okay, so what it takes is people changing their perspective, and we'll see if it happens. As far as converting, your dollars into hard assets, my suggestion, this is only a suggestion, okay, would be to convert into hard currency something portable, something easy to maneuver around, something that is finite, can't be conjured out of nothing, takes energy to get it, right? Gold and Bitcoin both fit that description. They both do. Bitcoin's a little harder currency, but for reasons I don't want to go into in this video. But either one is a good one. Both are portable. Real estate, my suggestion on real estate: buy what you need and will use, right? Or acquire somehow what you need and will use. Maybe avoid trying to have like 50 different properties, because that's you're probably going to end up losing it, right? I've been trying to tell even the guys. I saw somebody commented like, well, but what if you bought your properties like 30 years ago? Like, yeah, I know. You might as well just say, well, you got lucky, because that's really what it is. Because can you do that now? The answer is no. Which means if the laws were all the same right now, right, that they were 30 years ago, and there were no bailouts or anything out of the stuff, then that means that all those people would be losing their money right now. See, I've been over that too. I'm not trying to waste your time with this. I'm telling you, like, all this stuff is connected, and I've been over this a whole bunch. And by the way, I'm not being critical of Amy. I mean, she's asking a legitimate question, and it's an honest question. It's a fair question. You do what you can, is my answer. Even if it's a small budget, it's still a budget, and it doesn't take much, to grow that. Okay, especially in hard assets, and because you could say, like, well, the dollar will go away. I don't know about that, but getting into a habit of at least saving will help you a lot. I hope I'm able to answer that. I hope I'm able to answer that, for you.